Hey everybody, welcome back to GWN. I am Noctary, your host. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about box bases and, well, I guess why friends don't let friends run box bases. And when you see somebody running a box base, you got to wonder if maybe they need a friend. So, I've got a few replays for you here. Box bases, within the builder base, box bases they're too easy to take down with ground troops, in most cases. And that includes when you're dealing with maxed or close to maxed troops at Builder Hall 8. This runs pretty much the gambit across several of these different Builder Hall levels. It's not just Builder Hall 8 alone. Now, here we see that Mango's taking one down using a Jai-Cart variant that has some bombers, so Jaibaka, or Jaibak. And again, you pick one side. Typically, believe it or not, you go the side that's furthest away from the builder hall, because usually what these box bases do is they put a whole bunch of defenses in front of the builder hall on one side, and then they're not as strong on the other. So if you come from the side where the builder hall is nearest and seemingly easiest to get to, what ends up happening is your troops run out of steam before they get past it, and you don't have enough to really take down the remaining defenses. But if you come from the opposite end, you'll usually get the largest percentage that you can get. Now, this builder base here that's being taken apart by Mango, it's a very common builder base design that you'll find out there. And sometimes, you know, the walls are closed off. Sometimes you don't have those little shoulder pads that this one's got, but it's still the same basic design. You use your giants to hammer your way into the base, and then behind them, from a protected space, you have your cannon carts that come up and just start shooting things down. Some players will use Jaibak, where they take a couple of bombers along with them, a camp of bombers, to break it down. That works just as well. Here's another one. In this one, you've got a big open space smack dab in the middle of the base. This one's about as boxy as it gets. Once again, if you've got that big open space, it just screams, please use Jai-Cart. And that's exactly what I do on this one. Coming in from the bottom of the base, and again, it's furthest away from the builder hall itself, drop a few of the boxer giants. Make sure they're far enough apart that you end up with 2 points of ingress. This is important. If they come together too close, what'll happen is one of the sets will finish before the other one, like you see just happened here, and the other set that didn't finish will actually walk down the wall and go in where the opening is. And you don't want that, because you want 2 points of ingress. You want 2 fronts of attack, if you will. Now, by doing that, we have boxer giants galore coming up on both the left and the right, working their way more or less toward the middle. And in comes the cannon carts from behind, again in a protected space, walking their way up as well. The battle machine, you know, he does a couple of things. He does a little bit of tanking to keep some of the defenses off of the cannon carts, but then again, he also goes in and takes down a bunch of buildings. In this particular case, I only ended up with an 87%. A little disappointed, to be honest. I would have liked to have gotten the 3-star, but it was a fully maxed Builder Hall 8. Everything on this base is maxed except for those 4, I call them kind of corner walls, if you will, which of course don't really factor into the defense at all in this case, because I came up from the bottom of the base. So again, another high 2-star against one of these box bases. And it shows just how easy it is to work your way through and just kind of take them down. Taking a look at this one on the KVN, you'll see this is a familiar design, somewhat similar to the first one, a little bit different. This was also at the season reset, as are all of these. And I want to think, the key defenses on here I think were level 8. There was still some level 7 stuff on it as well. The KVN game tends to play a little bit lower because I'm still maxing it out. But it doesn't matter where you're at. The same concepts hold true. And knock on wood, hopefully you guys have got some max troops that you can use, because it works especially good. I mean, the boxer giant, when you max them, you've got 4 in a camp. The cannon cart, when he's maxed, you get 3 in a camp. In this case, the battle machine's only a level 10. So even though the battle machine is a little bit lower, you're still getting the same tanking and the same takedown that you would get any other time. Coming up from the bottom of this one, the defenses, I would say the key defenses were down there. The bulk of the defenses that are going to cause you problems for a ground attack are down there. The only thing that's at the top of it was a double cannon and a crusher. And a crusher really, in this particular layout, that crusher doesn't really serve much purpose. It doesn't do much against the ground attack, especially since there's so much of the base down at the bottom there. And before I finally ran out of steam here, I had over 80% of this base taken down. That's huge because, again, if you can get to 65%, you're going to win the bulk of your attacks. If you can get to 70 or 75%, it's almost a shoo-in that you're gonna win that attack. So as long as you're pushing through at those kinds of results, those kinds of destruction percentages, you're going to be doing really well. Last one I got for you. This one's a little bit longer. TK uses his archers on cleanup on this one. And it's the same basic attack as the other ones as you've seen before. First of all, you got to clear yourself a path to get to the walls before you drop those bombers, because you don't want the bombers throwing their big bomb ability at, well, you know, junk buildings. So that's what he does. He did drop a couple bombers, get them started working their way up. But the bulk of his bombers come up after the junk buildings on the outside are taken out. And then he sweeps through the base with that offensive line I've talked about so many times in the past. Your boxer giants are tanking. Your battle machine is tanking. The cannon carts come in from a protected position behind the rest of them. And before you know it, 65% of the base, 66% of the base is gone. It's toast. And they got a couple of other buildings to clean up there, but boom, it's done. It's over. This attack is done. However, he's still got that army camp of sneaky archers that he's going to put in a couple at a time here and there, just to kind of clean up the last few buildings that are around the periphery of this base. Most of them are junk buildings. You do have a cannon and a hidden Tesla there that's got to be taken down. But, with a dozen archers, that's not that difficult to do. So he trickles them in a few at a time, standard sneaky archer style, and takes everything down. You typically only need 2 or 3 to take down most of the defenses in the game while they're cloaked. And of course, the other buildings, they don't really factor into it because they can be taken down at any time. So there's a few box bases and the deconstruction. I hope you guys enjoyed the videos. Thanks for sticking around to the end. Comments down below. Email nocterra@gmail.com. I'll be back again tomorrow with more content on the builder base. And we got some home village base content stuff coming up too. Thanks a lot. Take care and keep on clashing. Bye-bye now.